about it.
Mr. Slaughter.
There's widespread support for the Hillsborough Bill, not least because it offers equality of arms between victims and the state in addressing unlawful state action. Doesn't the same inequality exist between the press and those who, in Jerry McCann's words, are monstered by them? But 13 years after the Leveson Review of Press Ethics, most newspapers are not subject to independent regulation, and there is no low-cost way to challenge media errors. Last week, over 30 victims of press intrusion, including Christine Flack, Kate and Jerry McCann, and Margaret Aspinall, whom you know, and whose son James died at Hillsborough, wrote to you to ask you to meet them and discuss their experiences. Will you meet them?
Yes, of course.
Finally, can I ask this? AI, artificial intelligence, can violate individual privacy, entrench discrimination, or hinder access to justice. You've put AI at the heart of the government's mission for growth, but how can you be sure increased use of AI will not lead to a weakening of human rights protection?
Well, we need to get the balance right. I think with AI, it's a huge opportunity. There's huge potential. Whether that's in health, where already we're seeing the difference it can make. I've seen for myself some of the use of AI to identify blood clots in stroke victims much more quickly than can be done otherwise, and literally saving lives. Equally, AI with heart monitors that can predict problems of the future and allow preventative measures to be taken. In criminal justice, it is already being used in probation in relation to a huge amount of material. And I know that the judiciary are interested in how it can improve criminal justice. Now, it needs to be within a framework, an architecture that is aware of and attuned to the risks, of course. But I don't think we should, for that reason, take the decision that we wouldn't use AI where it can improve criminal justice or the delivery of all our public services.
No, I don't think anyone's saying that, but it can include personal data, it can be discriminatory, and it can lack transparency, and that needs some human oversight, does it not?
Yeah, we do need to make sure we've got the balance right, and where there are potentials for risk, then we need to put measures in place. I completely accept that.
Thank you, Prime Minister. We know that the Joint Committee on Human Rights, as well as a number of other committees in this House, are looking at a lot of these very issues. I'm sure they'll be feeding that into the government's thinking on this. So thank you. Karen Bradley, Dame Karen Bradley.
Thank you very much, Chair, and thank you, Prime Minister, for being before us. When will the government publish the new Violence Against Women and Girls strategy?
As soon as possible. And I was in Downing Street when we brought together all of the various bodies that are helping work with us on that the week before last. And so now we're looking at very shortly in the future. I think the sooner we can get... Well, I would hope to do it as soon as possible. I don't want to commit to a date that ends up not being possible. But I'm not... I mean, I'll be clear with you. I want it out as soon as possible. I'm really pleased with the work we're doing on this. We've got incredibly good individuals and organisations working with us on it. And so we will get it published as soon as we can.
The Home Secretary was on the media round yesterday talking about things that will be in the strategy. I expected we'd have a statement today on it. I'm very surprised we've not got it, if she can do the media round on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're very close. I think we're just finishing off the final bits in the strategy. But I do want to get it out as quickly as possible.
I think, Prime Minister, I mean, in response to Mr. Da Costa, you were saying how you thought in statements to the House were important, and here's an example of one where there was a lot being discussed by ministers in the media to the public, but not to Parliament.
Yeah,
which is it?
Well, the strategy is not... I mean, we'll do the strategy in due course, but I mean, it's one...
But the government said it would come out before the summer. It then was going to be in September. We've been told time and again it was going to come very soon, and we're still waiting for it. And it's having real-world consequences. 3 rape crisis centres, I know, have closed because services cannot be commissioned because the local authorities, etc., do not know what money they're going to have because they don't have the strategy.
No, I want the strategy out as quickly as possible. There are measures we put in place already. The use of specialists in 999 control rooms has been widely welcomed. The National Policing Centre for Violence Against Women and Girls has been established, the domestic abuse protection orders. So there's a number of measures we've already taken. But I mean, I'm not pushing back on it. I want the strategy out as quickly as possible. We just need to finalise it and get it out.
We all do. £53 million has been committed to perpetrator programmes for highest risk perpetrators. There hasn't been a similar amount of money for victims' services. And there's a real disquiet in the sector that actually the victims are being forgotten. What would you say?
Certainly the victims not being forgotten. They're at the centre of the strategy on violence against women and girls.
There's no money for them that's been committed so
well,
far.
I'll look at the money
you.
commitments again and make sure that we've got that right. But this is a commitment of the government in relation to violence against women and girls. It's a personal commitment of mine. I've been working on this since I became the Director of Public Prosecution.
I remember when you shadowed me when I was in the Home Office. That's why I'm surprised.
No, I genuinely want to do as much as we possibly can. The figures on violence against women and girls are appalling. They've been appalling for a long time. 3 women a week